Let's start sewing the Audrey dress. I began by interfacing the facings. Here's what they look like. This is the back facing for that unusual neckline. This is the front facing, a plain rounded one. I've already pinned the darts on the back and the front pieces. This dress has 6 darts, so as I sew them, I'll backstitch at the dart base, but not at the point. I'll tie a knot. I've stitched all the darts and pressed them, pressing the waist darts toward the center and the bust darts upward, like this. Now I'll start putting the pieces together. Since the side seams get pressed open, I've already serged the raw edges. Now I'll sew the shoulder seams and the right side seam, not the left. The zipper goes there. I prefer inserting the zipper first. Next, I'll join the sleeve pieces.
Then the back facing and the front facing. Right sides together, I stitch the right side seam on the front and back skirt. The left one waits for the zipper. Here's what I have. This is the bodice, shoulder seams stitched, pressed toward the back. And of course, the edges are serged. The right side seam is stitched and pressed open. The left one, untouched. This is the facing. The facing pieces are joined, seams pressed open, and the outer edge is serged. Pressed well, since serging can ripple the edge. The sleeves. Sleeve seams stitched right sides together and pressed. Pressed toward the back, then serged. The sleeve hem edge so it doesn't fray. And this is the skirt. Simple enough. Side seams stitched, pressed open, and along the top edge of the skirt, I've sewn 2 parallel rows of basting. Now I'll form the gathers. So, pulling up the threads of those 2 rows I laid down, I've gathered it to the length I need. And then join the bodice and the skirt, right sides together. Pinned, and now I'll stitch them into one piece. With the top and bottom joined, I basted in the invisible zipper. And now I'll stitch it. The zipper is in. Now I'll close the side seam above the zipper and here below it, all the way down. Now I'm setting in the sleeves. Both sleeves are pinned, right sides together, and I'll stitch them. Then serge the seam all the way around. Almost done. Next is the facing. I've pinned it to the neckline, matching the shoulder seams, and now I'll stitch all the way around. With the facing attached, I trimmed the allowance with pinking shears. And here at the back, at the V neckline, I clipped as close to the stitching as I could. Now to the iron. Don't forget, understitch the allowance to the facing so it doesn't roll out. Now a final press, and tack the facing at the side seams. Carefully here, so it doesn't peek out. One last step, hemming the dress and the sleeves. First I serged the edge, then pressed it and stitched it down. Same on the sleeves. The dress is done.